everyone, Sarah with Multifarious Nature, owner and creator. Welcome back. If you're a returning viewer, if you're new, welcome. Feel free to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. And if you click the little bell notification, you'll be notified when new videos are posted. And also, if you like what I talk about today, please like it. That way I know what you're interested in and what you're enjoying. And I apologize for any weird background noise. We've got quite a bit of wind going on right now outside, and snow. At least it waited until the day after Halloween to snow here in Zeeland, Michigan. So it's definitely chilly out. So I broke out a sweater, getting warm now with that because it's really cold outside. So I'm going to start off with some new items in the shop for Multifarious Nature. Just a few items today for new items. So I did dye up some new colors. So the first one is, my notes are screwed up. I just realized that. Anyway, the first one is Scarlet. So this is a very deep red with a halo of black on there. So it just adds a dark depth to it there. So this is on my 100% superwash merino base, and it is on the larger skein. So it's 150 grams for 822 yards. So you get a decent amount of yardage in this one skein. So again, that's 150 grams, and that is Scarlet. It's a beautiful tonal. Different background today. I usually take over the main part of the house, so I am in the guest bedroom today, which actually get really decent lighting, so probably come in here again in the future. Okay, so the next color is Dusk, and this is a super deep blue black color, and it is on the alpaca, the 20-60-20 blend. So it's 20% super fine alpaca, 60% superwash merino, and 20% silk. I apologize. 20% nylon. I have a couple silk blends too, but this is the nylon. And you can see it's just super deep navy blue that's in there, and it's definitely a variegated yarn and black throughout. Very deep blue. I guess when you look at it, it does read sort of as a navy, but it also kind of reads as a black. So this is one of those kind of plays a trick on your eye a little bit. And this is 100 grams and 437 yards. So I have a couple of those in the shop right now. And again, if you ever see any of these colors that you just love, but you want one of the other bases that I talk about in any of my videos, please message me and let me know, because I can definitely dye up colors on different bases because I have different bases available. So keep that in mind if there's a base that you're really excited about, but it's just currently not dyed up in a color that you want. So that's Dusk and Scarlet. You can see and with that, this is just superwash merino. There is no silk in this. You can see how it has like a sheen to it, and that halo of like a black. It's really gorgeous color. I definitely want to dye up some for myself because I love reds. It's so pretty. And I think it would look really nice actually with Dusk. Nice change there, the two different variations. So next I'm going to go to some works in progress. So because it's been 2 weeks since I had shown you some works in progress, I have quite a bit of progress. So first one is the Deandra Shawl. So this is that freeform shawl that I've been working on quite a bit. So I'm like in the middle of it here. But there's my little progress keeper there. And so I think when I showed this to you last time, I was just finishing up going across the entire row with the Ocean's Deep colorway, which is one of my colorways, Multifarious Nature. So that one I finished off here, and now I am using the White Pine colorway, and that's in my 100% superwash merino base. And I'm going across here. I'm going to finish up the shawl with that color. So I did combine both of them kind of in this middle region that goes across. And you see it created this striping. Oh, that got really blown out. The lighting's getting weird now. Okay, it's better if I stay far away. And then this, you could see I have a little bit of lace work in there. Again, with the White Pine and the Ocean Deep combined. And I started with Ocean's Deep. And now I'm getting into that White Pine. And these are all freeform, like they're short rows, German short rows. And you create these little sections. So I am on this side currently is what I'm going across. You're working your way across it. This was a free pattern. One thing I've noticed about Ravelry, I just discovered it recently, is that their patterns that are free, some of them probably remain free depending on what the pattern is, but some of their free patterns eventually you have to pay for. So I have to be kind of careful of what kind of information I give to you, because I want to be respectful of those who created the patterns, and if they're now charging for their pattern, you know, I'd like you to support them and purchase the pattern versus me giving away that information. But this is still a free pattern right now. So, but you can see there's sections. So there's this like a really cool pattern being created with these short rows. You just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and the short rows get longer and longer as you're going. It's so fascinating. And it's just going to create this really unique shape to this shawl. It is, here's the kind of a picture of it. There you go. So it has this, you know, it's going to be, you know, like a regular shawl across the top, just straight. But then as it goes down, it kind of has this almost scalloped look to it. And there's lace work throughout. Such a neat pattern. And I'm just quite enjoying working on this. I've been working on this quite a bit every evening this week. So I've gotten a lot further on this. I've gotten a lot done, but that's 2 weeks worth. So this is not my regular 1 week's worth. And again, that is the Ocean's Deep colorway, which is this tonal dark blue, but it's like a bright blue with that almost a black halo to it. And then the White Pine, which is just like my favorite green color. That's the, if I needed to grab a green, that is the green I'd go for, is White Pine. Okay, and I did work also on the Pearl Soho. I struggle saying that so much. Pearl Soho, lightweight raglan. I've gotten quite a bit done on that too. Not so much this week, but I worked on it quite a bit last week. And let me see if I can find my progress keeper. So for those of you who thought this was a progress keeper, this is, I mean, I guess you can use it as a, you can't really use it as a progress keeper because it's going to move around as you do each row. It'll go up with your rows. This is my row counter, but so this is my row counter. You could use the little, this basically is like a progress keeper that moves up and down on the row counter to keep track of your rows. So currently I am, just look at this and I can tell you. So I am on row 23 of my decreases, because I'm trying to keep track of my decreases. And this is with one of my little row counters. I currently do have a couple of these, this one in particular in the shop. So it's my rose, it's the light purple glass beaded one that I have in the shop, and has a little rose, like, I'm gonna call that etched metal progress keeper with that comes with it. So that's currently in the shop. And then this is just one of my one-of-a-kind little progress keeper that I made. And so that's where I was. And I'm now, you know, done quite a few rows. You know, there's quite a few stitches on here. I don't know, like 300 something. There's a lot of stitches because it's a sweater. But you can see now, I have there's the decreases from the underarm. So I actually have, you look at this, you know, you've got your sleeves and it's starting to now look like, I mean, those nice decreases. But as you can see, if you actually look this pattern up, which I don't think Pearl Soho is pretty good about their free patterns remaining free, at least I've noticed that at the moment. It hasn't been changed. So it should still be free. It's the lightweight Raglan. I do quite enjoy that pattern. The only thing I am struggling with is the Raglan. For some reason, I just can't figure it out by following the pattern, because when I was doing it, it wasn't correct based off of what it was saying. So it's probably just me. Maybe it's user error and I'm just not understanding it. So if you look at my decreases, it does not look the same as the picture. I don't know, but I think it's gonna work. I think it'll be okay. It just won't look like, you know, the pattern, but oh well. I still like the way it's turning out so far, so I think that'll be fine. So I got quite a bit done on that one, and that's with the Expression Fiber Arts yarn. I don't believe they currently carry it anymore. They might not even have the base. It's a lace weight, and I'm holding it double, so it creates fingering weight basically, and it's a merino cashmere silk blend that they had. I don't think they currently have that in stock. I might be wrong. They may have more now, but I do love working with that yarn. It is so soft. I love the colors. I know the colors are not currently in stock anymore either. This dark blue is, it's called, I think, Midnight in New York. It's beautiful, beautiful. Like I said prior, it kind of reminds me of like an oil slick when you look at the colors in it, but it's a really dark blue navy color, and then I'm mixing it with, I can never remember, it's like a mauve kind of, but mixing those two together, and that is what I am using to get this color, and I just love the way that's looking. It lightens it. That mauve is lightening it, so it's not as dark as the navy color, even though I love navy, but I really like the way that's turning out. Okay. So next is my fun project using yarn that my mom gave me. She donated it to me that she had purchased forever ago from Virginia. So these are bees socks, the bee slipper socks, bee slippers. Yeah, bee slippers. I'm almost done. I made so much progress, and I did from, I want to say, well, from here where that little progress keeper is, I went from there all the way up, and I did that, I want to say, in like a weekend. So from about here up in a weekend, so it goes really, really fast. I am using my Chiago size 4.5 millimeter, so you know they are a bigger needle, size 7. They're a size 7 needle. I love these Chiagos. That was a little special purchase that I made, and I'm so glad. Okay, so I do not have a lot of knitting needles. Personally, I don't want that many. They take up a lot of space, and then I find that's just extra cluttery, so there's no need, right? Plus, I don't like to do a lot of projects at once, so if I get them all started, it would really kind of irritate me to have them sitting around unfinished. Even though I have a bunch of project ideas that I want to do, I don't want to start them all at once, because that would just be a bummer. They'd be sitting around, and that actually, frankly, makes me feel kind of stressed. So I knit for stress relief. I find it extremely relaxing, and I wouldn't want to add that pressure of having I don't know, even like 10 projects going on at once. I know some people do that because they get bored quickly and they want to keep using different things. I just don't want to do that. So the really cool thing about these Chiagus, and I think there's probably other brands too that will work like this, but this set in particular, it came, they're the twist ones. So these twist on so you can change your needle size, and it comes with so many cables. So I really wanted to work on these, even though I still had 2 projects going on. I was like, well, darn, what am I going to do? I don't want to buy another cable. So what I did is I took my really short cable from the hat I had been working on. I used the extender. It helps so you can attach 2 cables together. And I attached the 2 cables together, so I've got the medium size and the short one connected to make the long size. So now I can do my magic loop. I like the magic loop method because I don't really care for double pointed needles. I find they fall out, and if they fall out and you drop all the stitches, that I don't want to ever experience that. So, I've done it before. I did have double pointed needles. I still have them. I have 1 set. I think it's a size 5. I think I used them once. And yeah, I don't see myself really ever using them again, except for like a 3 needle bind off. I've used it for that. I will probably use it for a 3 needle bind off in the future, because I want to say one of the projects that I want to do coming up does have that. I don't really see myself wanting to buy many more double point needles though. But if you like working with double point needles, good for you. I'm so glad, because people that are selling them, you're the one who's going to purchase them. It won't be me though, because they irritate the heck out of me. But I love circular needles, and I'm loving these Chiago ones. It's a set. They're a little expensive. They're definitely an investment. So I don't recommend buying them unless you really enjoy knitting a lot. If you're just starting off, there's probably other sets that you'll get great use out of, and they're much more reasonably priced. So keep that in mind. All right. Whew, needed a water break. Okay. So stash acquisitions. Like I had mentioned in a prior video, my mom and my sister are huge fans of going to thrift stores, as well as me. I love the thrift store. I find such great deals there, and one thing that they have found a great deal of, I have as well, but they've gotten super lucky with really nice stuff, is yarn. They have found a bunch of yarn at the thrift store, and they are so sweet about picking it up and then gifting it to me. So here's some items that they found. I cannot take credit for finding these, but I'm excited to work with them. So, like I said, I tend to like fingering weight yarn. I gravitate towards it. A lot of projects call for fingering weight. It does take a while to knit fingering weight projects just because it's very thin yarn, but I just love it. I love everything about fingering weight yarn because I do enjoy the process of knitting. So if it takes me a long time, I don't really mind. But what they found me is really heavy duty. I think, what is this considered? This is bulky. Yeah, bulky weight yarn. And she actually found a couple of this on clearance. I'm not sure where, but you could probably get it at any craft store. But it's Burnett. I know I recognize that brand. I know I've seen it all over the place. It's Burnett Roving. And she got a bunch of this color, so I could make something decent sized with this. And the color is Flint. I think that's the colorway. It's Flint. So pretty. It's a gray, and it is a blend. So it is 80% acrylic, 20% wool, which is nice. I love having some natural fiber in that. I like acrylic. It's super washable. So for gifts, especially if you're giving gifts for like a child, like the little toys that I make, my crocheted toys, those are pretty much all acrylic or cotton, so they're washable. And that is easier. I feel like wool is a little bit more high maintenance. Definitely nice for really good warm garments though, like hats and mittens and stuff. but I still feel like, this is my opinion, but I still feel like it's just better for adults. But I don't know. It's just easier to wash for yourself because you pretty much have to wash it by hand. But they gotta be a bunch of this. So this is bulky. I've not ever worked with bulky yarn that I can think of. I don't think so. I've worked with worsted weight yarn, but I think that's the heaviest weight yarn that I've really ever worked with. So I'm excited to see what I can make with this. And they got me a couple more bulky weight yarns. So this one did have a brand on it though, so I can tell you that one. This one also has a brand on it. Again, I don't know if you can buy these colors still, but the brand is definitely recognizable. So this I know is from Hobby Lobby because I've purchased Hobby Lobby yarn before. It's Yarn Bee yarn, which there's like so many different styles of Yarn Bee yarn. And there we go. And this colorway is Wonder Wild. Ooh, I love the name, Wonder Wild. So it's very soft, bulky, multicolor here, twisted together. And this is a blend, I believe. Yep, 80% acrylic, 20% superwash wool. So again, this is an 80-20 blend, similar to this one. However, this one feels slightly more rustic, where this specifies that it's superwash, which means it has been treated. So the wool is like extra sealed, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to explain that correctly, but it just feels extra soft. Superwash tends to give you a much more sleek finish to the wool, so nice and soft. So I'm excited to make something with that. And this is also I have no idea. The feel of it feels very similar to that other one. So I want to say it's probably an 80-20 blend. It's probably a superwash. It's very, very soft. So this is probably a superwash and acrylic blend. But look how fun that is. It's really pretty color. And oh, score. Somebody actually, okay, so they gave this to me and I I didn't look at what was inside of it. And guess what? It has a little label in it, and I'm pretty sure that this is the color. Hand painted chunky. This looks like chunky hand painted yarn. And oh, I'm kicking myself now because it is not a blend, people. This is 100% and it is baby alpaca. Wow, no wonder it's so soft. That's why I thought it was a superwash. This is really, really soft. Wow, that was like an epic score. I just discovered this while I'm talking to you guys. That is cool. And then I don't know if this is the exact color, but there's a little sweater on the back. You can see that. I'm excited. Baby alpaca. Wow, this is like an epic, epic score. I'm telling you, when you go to the thrift store, especially, like, they tend to go to Goodwill, is the thrift store that they go to, and the price of things there are so reasonable. So you can get excellent deals if you find yarn there. So if you're a beginning knitter and you just you want to start messing with different types of yarn, please check your local thrift stores, because man, I have found so many good things there, and my sister and my mom have found amazing yarn. Like, I find acrylic yarn there and some wool yarn, but I have wow, they scored big time. I'm really excited about this. I have to make something special with this one. All right, and this I have absolutely no idea. There's no label. I want to say it's probably an acrylic, maybe acrylic wool blend, but it's just fun, and there's a bunch of it. So this is, I want to say, a worsted weight. So this is kind of your typical weight of yarn usually. So you can make all kinds of things with it. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with it yet, but I'm gonna have fun doing it. So I am just so grateful that when they find these goodies, they share it with me, because it gives me opportunities to mess with really cool colors that I probably wouldn't normally just buy. But I am really excited about that. Okay, so this is a tangent, and I just wanted to kind of bring it to everyone's attention because maybe, you know, I don't know. I was just really excited about this. So a lot of my family are very creative. My mom likes to paint. She paints floor cloths. So if you're not familiar with that, it's basically canvas that she paints for the floor. So they're like carpets, right? But they're painted, and then she covers them in poly, so they are waterproof. So that's what she does, and as her creative interest. And then my sister does photography, so, and she's now stumbling into needlework. And then my brother, he likes to carve wood now, and so what he gifted to my husband and I recently, which is just so nice, and I just have to brag about it because it's absolutely gorgeous. So he gifted us these, and isn't that so pretty? So he made this. It's a cutting board, multicolored wood together. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I love it. And I think like for the holidays, put like cheese on there or something. So nice. And there's a matching spoon. I don't know if he intended for it to match, but it does. Isn't this gorgeous? He made this all by hand. He chisels it out. Like this, I am so impressed. I had not seen any of his work, and then he sent me a picture of these and I was blown away. So I just have to brag about that for a second because I just, wow. I don't know if he realizes how much talent he has in that area, but my goodness, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I just had to brag on him there for a second. But so those are like stash acquisitions, and then a completely random. But a question for you guys. So I wanted to always end with a question. So what is one of your favorite colors to wear? So a lot of people tend to gravitate towards certain colors, like grays and white and black maybe, or maybe you like really deep colors like navy and dark red, violet. I kind of bounce around with colors that I like to wear. I tend to wear darker colors kind of, but it is seasonal. So of course I wear darker colors in the winter, but I gravitate towards jewel tones a little bit. So dark purple, black, like most people, and then earth tones and stuff. I do gravitate towards that as well. I'm just curious, you know, if there's certain colors that you gravitate towards. I might create a color based upon that. So if you want to comment below, I would love to hear what colors you like to wear, and that may influence colors in the future that I come out with. So thank you again for joining me today, and I hope you guys are staying happy, healthy, and I hope you're creating. And have a great rest of your week. Take care. Bye.